Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, let's discuss about grading and sieve analysis of aggregates. But before that, let's also cover a topic called thermal properties of aggregates. So coming to thermal properties of aggregates, these aggregates are given least importance. Sorry, these properties are given least importance. But the thing is that these properties of aggregates, what are we calling as thermal properties, they generally affect the durability of the concrete. They show the effect on the quality of the concrete. So as of now we do not have any clear picture related to the thermal properties of aggregates. As told, they are given not much importance, but generally we have three important thermal properties of aggregates, which is first one, coefficient of thermal expansion, next we have specific heat, and next we have thermal conductivity. Coming to the coefficient of thermal expansion, one has to remember that the coefficient of thermal expansion of concrete will increase with the coefficient of thermal expansion of aggregate. Means the aggregates expand due to thermal action or due to heat. Similarly, the concrete does. So they are directly proportional. So this coefficient of expansion of the aggregate, whatever we are using, that will further depend upon the parent rock nature. Why? Because aggregates are generally take out or they are taken out from the process of quarrying. So then generally they are dependent upon the quality of the parent rock we are taking. Next we have specific heat. So specific heat of aggregate is generally the capability or the measure of heat capacity of the aggregate, means how much heat it can retain. That's called its specific heat. Whereas thermal conductivity is the ability of the aggregate to conduct heat. So one is specific heat is retaining the heat inside itself, and thermal conductivity means able to allow heat to pass through itself. So that's all is about thermal properties. So nothing much to discuss. Why? Because there is no specific study related to this. Next we have important part of aggregates, which is grading. So coming to the grading of aggregates, grading is the particle size distribution of an aggregate. Means we try to, in a given sample of aggregate, we try to determine what is the maximum size of the aggregate or what is the average particle size of the particle in the given set of sample. That's called as grading. We are trying to grade the aggregates. We are trying to determine the percentage of individual sizes of aggregates in a given complete sample, and this is done by the process of sieve analysis. So in sieve analysis we have set of sieves. So we pour our given aggregate sample into it, we sieve it, and then we determine the percentage of weight retained on each sample, each sieve, and then we determine what is the average particle size or which size of aggregate is more in that given particular sample, like that. Okay. So this grading of aggregates and sieve analysis is performed as per IS 2386 part 1. So for if you are doing the grading for fine aggregate, you use generally 6 standard sieves, right? They are from lower to higher. If you take, obviously the bottom one will be the pan, just before or just above the pan will be your 150 micron sieve, above that will be 300, above that will be 600 micron, and above that will be 1.18 mm size, and above that will be 2.36 mm size, and above that will be 4.75 mm size. So whatever I have written the series here is right from bottom to top, means in the ascending order. So these 6 sieves we generally used when we are doing the sieve analysis for fine aggregate. But when you are doing sieve analysis for coarse aggregate, we generally take 5 sieves, right? We already know coarse aggregates are those which are having size greater than 4.75 mm. So now for coarse aggregates, the bottoms, the last or the ending sieve will be 4.75, and above that will be 10 mm, and above that will be 12.5 mm, and above that will be 20 mm, and above that will be 40 mm. So once the size of aggregates is going beyond 40 mm, we generally call them as boulders. So the sizes up to 40 mm we take. So you can see various sizes of aggregates. So you can see right side in the second diagram here. So these are the set of IS sieves, and this you have a mechanical sieve shaker. So we place all the sieves together. Bottom one will be the pan. We'll close the sieves. We arrange the sieves according to the order just now we discussed. We will close it and we will switch on the machine. So after 15 minutes of sieving, we stop it. So if there is no possibility of a mechanical sieve shaker, people have to do hand sieving. So continuing the topic, grading. So generally, good grading of aggregate will give you a good concrete, right? uh, Not with respect to workability, but if the aggregate is having all sizes in a good manner, then that can contribute to a good dense concrete. And also the number of voids will be less. Why? Because when we are saying it's denser concrete, the number of voids is less, the permeability of the concrete is less. How it becomes? When we try to incorporate all types of sizes, so all the voids will be filled up by the smaller size of aggregates, hence smaller size and medium sizes, hence there will be maximum reduction in voids. And later on, if there are still more any small gaps or voids, there is fine aggregate which is coming up and it's filling away. So yeah, this you can see, these are the sieves, IS sieves, Indian standard sieves. So this is for fine aggregate, it's the table. So based on the percentage of weight of sample retained on each sieve, we decide the uh, grading. We give four zones for fine aggregate. We have zone 1, zone 2, zone 3 and zone 4. So most of the times our sand which we use in regular construction will be confining to zone 3. So based on the percentages of weight retained on each sieve size, we decide, okay, it comes under which zone. Okay, say for example, if your sand retained on say 1.18 mm sieve is falling is around 40%, then it is in between 30 to 70, right? So then you can say it is of zone 1. But not only we can't consider only this 30 to 70, even you have to consider the other sizes, and then you have to come to a other zones also you have to consider, and you have to come to the conclusion. So from this chart we can decide our fine aggregate belongs to which zone. This is the grading chart for coarse aggregate. So again, based on this chart, we decide what is the average particle size of the coarse aggregate in the given complete sample of aggregates, which sizes is having more weight in the given sample. So again, it's based on the percentage of weight retained. We generally determine the average particle size of the aggregate. And this is also another chart which is for all in one aggregate, or all in aggregate means which is the combination of coarse and fine. Coming to fineness modulus, so we have fineness modulus both for coarse aggregate and fine aggregate. Fineness aggregate is nothing but it is dividing the given sample into various fractions of same sizes. So how this happens? Just with the help of sieve analysis. So when you pour the complete sample into the sieves and when you start sieving, every size of aggregate will be retained on that size of sieve. So you're trying to divide into fractions, you're trying to divide into separate quantities using sieves, right? And grading, sieve analysis and fineness modulus are all closer to each other. So once if you can perform the sieve analysis test, you can determine, or you can, with the help of the grading charts what you have seen just now, you can decide the size, average particle size, and also you can decide the fineness modulus of the aggregate sample. So generally fineness modulus will give you the average size of the particles which are present in the given sample of aggregates, and it's a very easy method of expressing the gradation of the aggregates, right? So generally whatever sizes we are using for determining fineness modulus are right from 80 mm, 40, 20, 10, 4.75, 2.36, then 600 micron, 300 micron, 150 micron, and below 150 micron we will be getting the pan. So these are the sizes we generally use for determining fineness modulus of aggregates which are used for making the concrete, right? And obviously the aggregate fraction whichever is in between 80 mm to 4.75 we call them coarse, and which is less than 4.75 we call it as fine. Okay, so we have 4.75 mm size which is appearing both for coarse aggregates and fine aggregates. Why? Because that is the deciding size whether to tell it is coarse or fine. So it's very simple. Just we place all the sieves in the successive orders. Like the top one, the above one will be the greater size, and below that will be next least size, and the last one will be the least size with a pan. So larger sieves will be on the top, smaller sieves will be at the bottom. Here larger smaller means in the sense of sizes. So large size sieves will be on the top and small size sieves will be on the bottom. Okay, so pour first arrange all your sieves as now just now we discussed in this particular sizes 80 mm, 40 mm, 20 mm, these sizes. In this way you try to arrange all the sieves, right? 80 at the top, 150 at the bottom, and below this a pan. Then close the 80 mm sieve with the lid and pour all the aggregates into it and start sieving. If you have a mechanical sieve shaker, put it into it, or else sieve it mechanically by manually with your hand. Right? Then try to sieve properly. Always remember that whatever sample you are using should be oven dried sample, otherwise the sieving may not be uniform. So see that you sieve it is oven dry sample and you sieve it properly. Then after complete sieving, see that no particles are struck up inside the sieves, the sieve openings. Everything is properly sieved. No particles or aggregates should be struck into the sieve openings, right? So sieving should be given in a proper fashion. If you are doing manual sieving, you have to give a circular motion. So you have to do the sieving process until you ensure that there is everything has sieved. There is no, I mean, almost there is no particle which can be passed through the sieve. Everything is finished. If you are confident enough, just stop the sieving operation. Okay. Then after doing the sieving operation, what you have to do is calculate the weight retained on each sieve. Okay, and how do you calculate the weight retained on each sieve? Just for example, if you are taking a 20 mm sieve, try to weigh the aggregate which is retained on it. Retained on it means which is still left on it, which has not yet passed. So which is left on it is called as retaining. So if it is 20 mm sieve, see how much aggregate has left on the 20 mm sieve. Just take a weighing balance and measure the weight of the sample. So that weight by total initial weight of your sample will be there, right? The complete aggregate sample. Yes. So this weight retained on 20 mm sieve by total weight into 100 if you do, you will get the percentage of weight retained. Like that for all the sieves once you do it, at the end try to add all the percentage weight retains, right? Then you calculate the fineness modulus. So fineness modulus is given by adding all the cumulative percentages of weight retained on each size right from 80 mm to 150 mm and divide by 100. I'll just show you the formula. Yes, this is the formula for your fineness modulus. It is summation of all the cumulative percentage weight retained by 100. So you'll get the fineness modulus in some decimal points. So one has to remember that more is the fineness modulus, more coarse is the material. So for fine sand, this is the fineness modulus reference. So if for sand, if the fineness modulus is falls in between 2.2 to 2.6, you call it as fine sand. 2.6 to 2.9, you can call it as medium sand. 2.9 to 3.2, it is called as coarse sand. If it is exceeding 3.2, then we have to feel that it's absolutely not suitable for making concrete. So as you can see, more is the fineness modulus, more coarser the aggregate becomes, right? So sometimes whatever aggregate you are getting at the site may not be of required grading, so at that time you can combine two types of aggregates and you can use. So this is the chart. I think this I have already shown you. That chart I have taken from IS 383. This I have shown you already just now. Even this is also. So this is directly from the code. I have put the snapshots. So I hope you all understood the video. Thanks for watching.